welcome back to Elite Travel and Tech Reviews. Today I have my part 2 of my new series called Travel Talk. For our first video, which I'll link here down below, was expertflyer.com, and that was more focusing on different flight options, finding about your flight, specific information about your flight, maybe after you had booked, or looking at the status. So a little bit more of the nitty-gritty nuts and bolts of the travel industry. But obviously, before you can even get to that point, it's important to find a good flight that's going to fit your needs and get the very best fare for that flight. Obviously, when I've been working with individuals and kind of working with them to get their travel needs taken care of, the fare of the trip is always what comes up the most. And in this day and age, with the reduction of the number of airlines and the reduction of competition, and also just the number of travelers that are trying to get through every year, obviously fares are increasing. There's entire departments that are working with auto price systems that are monitoring and changing fares instantaneously every second. So definitely, there's been a lot of different series on different news outlets about how you can pay $500 for your seat while the person next to you could have paid $250, while the other person next to you might have paid $1,500 for their seat. So there's definitely a lot of variability when it comes to pricing. But we want to be able to find the best flights for our needs and the best fares every single time. So that's where I was introduced to a new website about 5 months ago. It's called Flightfox.com, as you can see here, Flightfox.com. And just a little bit of a disclaimer, this is by no means a sponsored video. I was introduced to this website via another website, which I'll be reviewing for you next in the series. And I have not used this website personally. However, I have actually seen some demos from the company, and I've actually recommended it to a few people for their needs. So if any of you guys have used it or are planning to use it after this video, definitely let me know in the comments below what your thoughts were about it, and just in general, kind of how you liked it. I'd be curious to see your experience. But let's just dive right into it. So as it says here, we're going to find the best flights every time. This is a paid website, whereas you launch something called a flight contest, and this is very similar to a booking engine on American Airlines, on Delta, on United, on Southwest, or any airline basically. You're going to put in your preferences, and then it's going to launch a contest. And as you can see here, it says that it's from $24, and that's going to be for a one-way economy class seat. As your search becomes more complex, obviously that finder's fee, which will go to the expert, which I'll explain here in a minute, will then increase. So after you launch your contest, experts who have applied to FlightFox and have been approved are, and these might be travel agents, just people who are travel enthusiasts who work in the industry, are going to basically sit down and they're going to look at your needs, and they are going to put together a quote for you. So they're basically bidding for your finder's fee. And then after you receive your flights, you're going to award your finder's fee to obviously probably the cheapest one, or maybe the one that's going to fit your needs the best. And then you're going to book pretty much instantaneously, because as I mentioned, in the travel industry, things change every second. So you definitely don't want to miss out on what they put together for you. And then they receive your finder's fee, and you can book your flights. You definitely don't want to send any money to them directly, and that's actually one of the warnings of this website. You never want to send any money directly to the expert. However, the website, I believe, has some assistance with actually booking what they put together for you, and then you're on your way. So let's just kind of review the home page here, then I'll show you kind of the screen of how you get started. So as I mentioned, you're going to launch your flight contest. You're going to dial in all your different preferences, your departure date, your return date, your airports, all that good information is going to go in there. And then you're basically going to be able to get an advantage, which is the expert advantage. They can search for you all airlines, all routes, all their different requests. If you're doing an RTW, which is a around the world ticket, if you're flying with golf clubs, surfboards, odd-shaped parcels, or even with pets, they can definitely put that into their quote for you. And obviously in this day and age, it takes a lot of travel savvy to be able to put together a really good quote and get the best fair price. Which who has time to sit around for hours on end looking for the best price? So that's why it's really great to have these experts who know where to look to get started, and then can put together something that you may or may not have found on your own. So that's a great advantage. They can help you with city advice. If you want to go to a specific area, maybe this airport's a little bit easier than the other airport that you had originally requested. Visa advice if you're traveling internationally, and also seat advice. Everyone wants to sit, with extra leg room, just better seats in general. general, no one wants to sit in the very back of the plane in the middle seat, right next to the lavatory. It's just not as desirable as obviously like an exit row or a seat closer to the front of the cabin. So they can help you with that maybe as well. Some FAQs before we get into it. Obviously you're going to save some money. If you do find a lower price and can prove it to to FlightFox, they will then refund your finder's fee, which is nice. They also have a satisfaction guarantee. I don't know exactly all the different fine print, so definitely check it out on the website. But if you're not happy, I think that they might work with you to kind of maybe recoup partial or full value to your finder's fee as well. And as I said, the experts are mostly freelancers who have a passion for flying and for travel, and they do it every day, so they have a very good industry knowledge. So that's pretty much, it. It's a very simple process. So let's just pretend like we're going to launch one of our contests. So, get started now. And basically, immediately, you're going to be hit with some choices. They're going to want to know, do you want just the cheapest flight, period? So might be weird times, might be, kind of off-the-path airlines or off-the-path airports. Do you want the most, the cheapest convenient flight, which is more, matching your preferences? So that's obviously the most popular. You want the cheapest flight for what you are going to outline for the experts. You want to fly in style, so maybe some business class or some first class possibly. You just need help with a complex trip to get things all kind of matched up with all the different segments and land segments and flight segments. If you want to use your miles, they can also help you with that, maybe to get the best travel experience, the best class experience for the least amount of miles, which is always a great thing to conserve those frequent flyer miles that you've worked hard to obtain. Just a stress-free adventure. Maybe, they might build in some, some chauffeurs or some airport assistants. I know, for example, like I said, I'm most familiar with American Airlines, and they have the 5-star assistance program, which is a great program if you kind of want help getting through the airport, getting checked in, getting to your flight, and also also on arrival they can help you as well. So that they can kind of build in those different kind of more luxury amenities to your trip as well. So you can choose your options. So let's just click our most popular option here. And then you can choose if you have a one-way, a round trip, or a multi-city, obviously to reflect your specific needs of your itinerary. You have your departure and arrival airports, your departure and return dates, your flexibilities if you are flexible whatsoever. You can also add another trip leg if you want to, which would then convert it to a multi-city at that point. And then you basically are going to dial in your preferences if you want longer layovers or you want to pay more for a shorter layover, if you're happy with layovers or do you want more non-stop flights, and also, if you're happy to fly with any airline or do you really want to keep it with one airline, because especially travel is stressful enough, you really don't want to be transferring bags, checking in, and then when you arrive, checking into another terminal with another airline. So you can definitely weigh your cost and quality preferences there. You can add your frequent flyer miles if you want to do a frequent flyer mile search, your passenger information, any details that you have, and then you can obviously you'd create your account. At that point, and unfortunately, I don't really have a trip that I can put in here for you, but then it would then let you know what your finder's fee is. You would then put in your credit card information, and at that point, your contest is live. So the experts would be able to log in, see your contest, and be able to start putting together a quote for you. At that point, you'd then award the expert your finder's fee. You'd want to book that pretty instantaneously to make sure you get what they prepared for you, and then you're off on your trip. So, like I said, if you have used it or are planning on using it, Flightfox.com. Let me know what you think about it, what your experience is, and how it works for you. Thank you guys very much for watching this video. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe down below, and stay tuned for some more very exciting Travel Talk series videos, as well as some other reviews on the Elite Travel Tech channel as well. And don't forget to check out EliteTravelandTech.com. Thanks very much for watching. See you next video.